Hi, I'm Dan Riegler from Apothecary's Garden, and today I'm going to show you two methods that I use for extracting the healing compounds in frankincense. They're both oleo extracts, is made from the powder of frankincense, and the second is made from the resin extract of frankincense. They're both really easy to make at home. You don't need anything complicated, just powdered frankincense in the first instance, and a water bath and a carrier oil of your choice. Frankincense has been used medicinally for thousands of years. The therapeutic compounds in frankincense are found mainly in the resin. They're heavier molecules and they are resin acids. The main therapeutic compounds are called boswellic acids, and the acids make up the brunt of the resin portion of the frankincense, not the essential oil. Specifically an oleo extract, an extract in oil, and I'm going to cover two methods out of four that I use to make oleo extracts. It's excellent for the skin. It's been used in cosmetics. Studies have found it to be anti-cancer and anti-inflammatory, among other things. If we're going to utilize the therapeutic properties of frankincense, we have to tap into the resin portion of these tiers. All essential oils have some therapeutic properties, and aromatherapy is a wonderful healing modality. But in the case of frankincense, the brunt of its therapeutic properties are found in its resin portion, not in its essential oil. So the question is, how do we tap into those resin acids, and how can we use them for healing? I'm going to cover 2 out of 4 methods that I use to make an extract of frankincense. They're simple, they can be prepared at home, anyone can make them. The first is a simple oleo extract using frankincense powder, and the second is making a frankincense extract using the resin extract. The resin extract is basically the spent resin after distillation. The interesting thing about frankincense and most of the frankincense types and the myrrh types, they aren't simple oleo resins like our pine trees and spruce trees. Pine and spruce resin dissolves easily in oils. It's simply made up of resin and essential oils. Whereas frankincense, the frankincense family, most of them are oleo gum resins, which means that not only do they have a resin portion and essential oil portion, but they also have water-soluble gum in them. And because of the presence of water-soluble gum, they will not dissolve in any single solvent directly. If you take frankincense tears and put them in oil, nothing's going to happen. If you put them in water, again, it's not going to dissolve them completely, and the same with essential oils. How do we get these compounds into an oil that we can use as a medicated oil? We can use it as a base for salves or creams. And the way to do that is, the first system is to grind the frankincense to a powder. I have a blog post on how to grind frankincense and myrrh. If you need further instructions, you can look there. But it's very simple. You can use a mortar and pestle. You can use a coffee grinder, a regular herb grinder, or you can use an industrial size grinder, as long as you grind it. And the trick with grinding frankincense is you have to dry it after you grind it. Because it has water-soluble gum, it also has moisture in it. And when you release that moisture, the powder tends to solidify. Often I'll grind and dry 2 or 3 times before I get a good powder. Now I want to show you, these are oleo extracts of different types of frankincense. This is an oleo extract of frankincense neglecta. This is an oleo extract of frankincense dalzieli from Nigeria. And this is an oleo extract of frankincense hojari, royal green hojari. The first method I'm going to talk about is maybe the simplest. It's very similar to making an herbal tincture. In this case, we grind the frankincense to a powder, and then I add 1 part frankincense powder to 3 parts oil by weight. Now, you have to use a water bath for this. So a water bath is basically a double boiler. You have a vessel that has water in it, then you place your jar in the water, clip it to the side of the water bath so it doesn't sit on the bottom. Put your powdered frankincense in, and then 3 times the weight of the frankincense in oil. So you can use whatever oil you want, whatever oil you like, as long as it's not something that's too sensitive to heat, because the product in the jar will go up to 90 degrees. Make a water bath or a double boiler, bain-marie, whatever you want to call it, and in the water place your vessel with powdered frankincense and oil, and stir it and let it sit in that water bath all day if possible. You can do it for 3 or 4 hours, that's fine. At this stage, you'll have extracted some of the resin acids and essential oils. If you want to extract more, then I suggest, just like an herbal tincture, leave it to macerate in a warm place for 4 to 8 weeks. So basically a warm place means on top of a fridge or somewhere not hot but warm. Stir it every day, shake it every day. If it's got a lid on it, don't shake it if there's no lid, and leave it there for 4 to 8 weeks. You can go by the moon cycles if you like, and then filter it. So filtering is pretty straightforward, as I've shown in other videos. Basically, oil extracts are too thick to pass through paper filters. So what I use are just simple metal mesh coffee filters. Place it in a funnel and then pour your maceration, all the oil and all the residue, into the funnel. Now when it's finished dripping, save the residue because it makes an excellent exfoliant. You can add it to soaps, you can just have a jar of it by the bathtub, and it's wonderful and it leaves the skin feeling wonderful afterwards, so you can put it to good use. That is the first method, and the simplest method, I guess, of making an oil extract of frankincense. And once you have this oil, you can use it as it is, as a medicated oil. You can put it back in a jar in the water bath and warm it up and add wax to it, turn it into a salve. And during the cool down period, you can add some essential oils to it and make a signature blend of your own. These oleo extracts, they all work in the same way. I can't say that one's good for one thing and the other one's good for something else. They're excellent for the skin. They're excellent for mature skin. They've done studies that show that the skin becomes more supple with frankincense, use of frankincense. I found that they're great for arthritis and joint pain, swelling of the joints. Some people use them as a respiratory rub. I haven't tried that. So you can adjust your essential oils according to what your end product is, what you're going to use it for. Now, they do say that frankincense is anti-cancer, but there's not a lot of real-time studies done. It's mostly in the laboratory, but I have to say that in my personal experience, I had a brown splotch on my nose a few years ago. Went to the doctor and they took a piece out of it, punched a piece out for a biopsy. They basically set a date for surgery. They didn't even tell me what it was. They just set a date for surgery, and I decided not to go, foolish or not. And what I used was an oleo extract of frankincense serrata, the Indian frankincense. And I dab it on my nose, and I took the residue. Remember, there's a residue left over, all the water-soluble gum that doesn't dissolve. I made a little poultice of it, and I just tapped that on my nose a few times a day. And honestly, I forgot about it. Then 2 months later, my brother saw a photo of me and asked me, where's that spot? It may have disappeared directly because of the frankincense. It may have just been a coincidence. I don't know. But it certainly invites further research, and I think a lot of people could put this product to use. So that's the first method of making an oil extract of frankincense. We have 7 or 8 different types of frankincense, and most of them we have in powders, and we grind the powder here. Grind them, dry them, grind them again, let them dry, and then we bag them. You can always grind them finer at home. It doesn't hurt, but I like to grind all of our powders here because you never know what you're going to get. Even your supplier may not know what's really in the powder he's given you. So we carry a wide variety of fresh frankincense tiers. I think we have 7 or 8 or 9 different types of frankincense, and we also have the powders of each frankincense that we grind here in the shop. We have royal green hujari, we have frankincense serrata from India that's used in Ayurveda, frankincense dalzieli, frankincense carteri from Somalia, and all our powders are ground twice. So once you have your oil and you're happy with it, you can use it as it is, as a medicated oil. You can make a salve from it by putting it back in the water bath and adding wax to it to thicken it. And you can also add whatever essential oils you want to it. Now, in my opinion, the longer maceration, like letting it sit in a warm place for a few weeks, yields stronger and a better product. But you can try both of them. Now, the second method that I'm going to share today, instead of using the powdered frankincense, we're going to use a resin extract. So what's a resin extract? Remember I said frankincense has essential oils, resin, and gum. So an extract is the frankincense that's been washed of the gum. So there's no gum in it, so it's got no reason to not dissolve in oils, which makes life a lot easier. We distill all our frankincense oil here at Apothecary's Garden, and after each distillation we collect the resin that's left over. It's been cleaned of water-soluble gum. We dry it and grind it and dry it again, and this resin extract will dissolve completely in oil. You'll have maybe 10% that might be bits of bark and other debris. And the beauty of the resin extract is it contains all of the resin acids. It contains all of the boswellic acids. Everything that's in the natural tears is now in the oil. And the method for making a medicated oil from the resin extract is the same as making one from powdered frankincense. Set up a water bath, clamp your jar to the side, add 1/3 resin extract or 1 part resin extract and 3 parts oil. And you'll find that by the time the bath is boiling, most of the resin extract has already dissolved. So it doesn't require as long a time in the water bath. Once you have a clear product with residue on the bottom, when the residue doesn't disappear anymore, it doesn't diminish, then you know you've dissolved all of the resin extract in the oil. Same method, let it cool down, pour it through a metal mesh filter, and there you have it. You've got a medicated oil with all the boswellic acids, all the resin acids. There are many different resin acids in frankincense, and they're all great. So that is the most direct and the easiest method for making a frankincense extract. In the future, I'll show you 2 more methods that I use. That'll be for another video. Remember, you can always add essential oils to your oleo extract. I usually don't add more than 2% essential oils because essential oils are pretty powerful. And especially in the case of the powdered frankincense extract, the frankincense already has its own essential oils. But you can play around with it, add whatever essential oils you like. Under 2%, I suggest. And you can make a cream, like a water oil cream. You can make a salve, and you can use the oil as it is. It's excellent on the face. We have a couple of serums. We have a frankincense rose serum and a serum G. Both are made with frankincense resin. They're loaded with boswellic acids and all the resins, the resin portion of frankincense, and customers love them. And we also have a cream. I make a cream out of an oil. I make an oil extract. Then I use that oil extract as the oil phase of a water oil emulsion. And we have it all here. All of these methods can be done at home in any kitchen. They're simple and straightforward, and anyone can harness the therapeutic properties in frankincense. So I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something. If you liked it, please subscribe to my channel, like the video, and if you want to learn more about these methods and materials and other aromatic materials, head over to my blog at apothecarysgarden.com. I try to post regularly, so there's always new information and new products that I talk about. And I hope I see you in the future. I'll see you next time.